Welcome back to C1 Risk Training. Today we're going to show you how you can automate the evidence collection process in the platform. So when you're doing compliance in C1 Risk, you can collect evidence from evidence owners or via an API integration, and you can set the cadence for that collection to happen either via a notification to an evidence owner or for the API system pool in our system. Once you've established that, we basically have a set it and forget it principle. So obviously you want to go in and check it every now and again, but based upon the cadence you set up, the notifications or API pool will happen automatically from C1 Risk, and that data will come in. You'll be able to see it and validate it based upon the time frame that you need to. Okay, so let's show you how to do it in the C1 Risk platform. Okay, so here we are in the platform, and as you can see, I'm in the compliance module in the evidence section, and I've opened one of our evidence records here. And now I'm just going to put it in edit mode, looking at the functionality buttons. Now, if we scroll down, remember what we're going to do as we come into an evidence request, whether we're building this or bulk uploading it, we want to provide the evidence start date and end date. So this is the period within which the auditor would accept that a piece of evidence has been created. And we have a full training on how to use these evidence start dates and end dates called How to Launch a Document Request. And you can find that in the compliance training module. And that is just here, how to launch evidence collection, under document requests. Okay, so once we've established the evidence start date and end date, and again, remember, it's in the training, but just remember the evidence end date is the day that the notification will go out, either as an API pull or as an email to an owner to upload the evidence. So the end date is the day that the email is going to go out. So you have to think about that when you set it. The next thing that we want to do is then set the frequency. So frequency is the cadence of how often we want to collect the piece of evidence. So this is sort of thinking forward to the future. Once we've kicked off this evidence request for the first time, how often do we actually need to see this evidence? So do we need to see it every day? Do we need to see it weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever you want here? And so if you don't know, you can leave it as needed, but do note if it's as needed, of course, there is no automation. You then have to trigger the document request manually yourself, and we'll show you how to do that too. But basically, I'm just going to set my cadence, and here I'm going to set it to quarterly, and I'm going to give 20 days for the person to upload the document. So every quarter, they're going to have 20 days to upload this. And now what you'll see when I click save is this will all save as the information that we've given them. So I need evidence that was created after July 1 and before September 29th. And this notification is now going to go out on September 29th. So now when that happens, I'm actually going to trigger this manually, And so this is how you trigger a manual document request. If you're in the as needed mode, you can just come to the document request tab in the record. You can also do this in bulk as well from the list view, and you just do add new document request. So now my document request has been added, you see here. And then if I go back to my evidence record, you'll see that the dates for the start date and end date have now changed because we're now automating this request. So here, this request is out. Now, as I go back, you'll see that it's actually moved forward. So 9/30, the day after the evidence collection end date that we just sent out. And it's moved forward then 3 months time. So 12/29/2022. And so now the next notification will go out on 12/29/2022 based upon that quarterly request frequency. And that will just continue. So again, you can literally set this and forget this. If you want to come in and review this from time to time, you can, of course, change this at any time as well, just by going back to that edit mode. And don't forget that we do also have these list view options as well, where you can do bulk changes. So you can just come in, select everything, or select whatever you want to select. A note here, you can change the request frequency, you can change the evidence start date, change the evidence end date, and so on and so forth. So lots of different ways to do this. And then finally, that add new document request. So you could actually kick off a document request for all these documents from here. All right, so that's how you automate evidence collection on the C1 Risk platform. Thank you very much.